G'day everyone, Michael Taylor at 64 Motorsport, and welcome to a cracking day here in Bris Vegas. After a couple of wet, wintry days, the sun's finally out and it's a really comfortable 20 odd degrees. So a really great day to be making this video, and I'm really excited about this video because, as you can probably tell from the title and the thumbnail, I've got myself a new performance mod for the E46 and I'm super excited about it. Because it came up on Facebook Marketplace, I didn't have a lot of time to sort of think about it. The opportunity came up and I just pounced. Hold on. Whoa. What? You realise this video is really controversial, right? Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, well, it wasn't me who made this video here, was it?
No, I think you've got to give them a bit more credit than that.
And what, you don't think you're going to get a heap of comments saying, what's going on? You know, you make this video here and now you're making this video here. Look what you've gone and purchased. Big mistake, I think. Yeah. Big mistake.
What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to run through the reasoning behind why I bought these headers, what my plans are to get them to work and to fit onto my E46. And I guess the only question I haven't fully answered at this stage is, when do I do it? So hopefully by the end of the video I've got a clearer idea on that. If you've got a right-hand drive E46, you probably have a fairly good appreciation for how hard it is to find a good set of headers to suit. And I certainly wasn't comfortable investing $3,500 in a set of Super Sprint headers. There is a thought process behind it and I do have a plan, so that's what I'm going to run through on this video here. So first, let's get them up onto the table. We'll get this box open and I'll show you what comes in the box, what I plan to keep, what I plan to discard, and then how I'm going to modify them to suit what I require from these headers for my E46 build. So let's get cracking.
Hey!
Whoa, what are you doing in there?
Yeah, I was just checking that you actually got everything out of the box, and yeah, it looks pretty good. You got everything.
Oh, crikey, mate, you scared the crap out of me.
Well, don't forget to tell them about the cats, right?
Yeah, no, I'll tell them.
Well, everything's clear in here, so you can close this up and chuck me in the bin, eh?
Okay. So let's have a look at what we've got in the kit. I guess the first question is, who made it? Well, according to the box, it's DNA Motorsport. The important thing is that these are actually a left-hand drive set of headers. They're not going to fit my E46. So straight away I know that some of these pipes are going to have to be modified to fit around the steering box and aircon components and things like that. But primarily the steering column, which is not in the way on your left-hand drive version. For whatever reason, on my E46, I don't have that second O2 sensor. This bung here, I don't need. I only need this first bung. But as you can probably tell, they don't have cats on them either. So I'm going to have to install a set of cats into the system somewhere, which suits me because it means I can choose a catalytic converter, which has got the flow rate that I want. So I can choose a high flow cat. I can also choose the size and shape. So I've got some options there. I'm not worried about the catalytic converters or the O2 sensors because that's not really an issue. The main issue is going to be getting it to fit around the steering column. Now in the kit you get a couple of new exhaust gaskets and replacement bolts to connect it up to your existing exhaust system. You do get a couple of exhaust manifold gaskets, but these I'm going to chuck out. These don't have the heat shield on them, which is what you need. I'm going to order a proper set. I'm not going to chuck them in the bin, but I'm certainly not going to use those. So how am I going to overcome the issue of getting these to fit around the steering column? Let's pop the bonnet and we'll have a look at what I'm dealing with under there, eh? There's the steering column there, and that is the top of the existing exhaust manifold here and here. It's the top of the existing exhaust manifold. You've got aircon pipe here that runs down to the aircon there. The steering column is way down in there. So there's not a lot of access, so I've got to make this new exhaust manifold fit into this situation, and it's really tight. That's what we're dealing with. We've got the two banks of pipework which somehow have to fit down in this really tight spot. Now, to get around the steering column, my initial thoughts are that probably these two pipes here are going to need to be modified. There's a weld here, which you might just be able to pick up on the camera. There's a weld here. Cut the pipe here, and similar on this one here as well. Cut it there, and down near where it joins into the collector. How am I going to work out how to get those two sections of pipe to fit around that steering column? And I do have a plan. I'm not the best welder in the world, and I know my limitations. I can do basic sort of stuff, but I'm certainly not at the skill level required to weld up an exhaust system. What I'm going to do is utilise the services of somebody who does know how to weld, and I'm going to get an exhaust shop to weld the new sections of pipe in. In terms of them knowing how to do it, in other words, what bends and things like that are required to get it to fit around the steering column, I'm going to have to put together a template for them to work from. And how am I going to do that? I went to the plumbing store, well, the hardware store in the plumbing section, and I've got myself some 50mm PVC pipe and a heap of PVC fittings. Now, what's really cool about these is these come in a range of bends and joiners and things like that. So you don't just get 90° and 45° bends. You can get 15, 30°, 40° and 45° bends. So once I've cut the pipe out, I'm going to use these to get a rough outline or a rough template together to get it to fit around the, oh, what the bloody hell's it called? Steering column. To get it to fit around the steering column. And I know you can buy those, I guess, Lego plastic kits which do a similar sort of thing, and they're less bulky. I'm only replacing hopefully a couple of pipes, so to invest that sort of money just for these couple of small alterations doesn't really make sense. What I'm going to do is make a template, a rough template using these. Put these down for a sec. And then I'll get some mandrel bent bends, cut those up based on the angles that I've determined from the PVC, tack weld those together and take that whole assembly to the exhaust shop, and they can do the final welds and piecing together. And that is how I'm going to overcome this problem. So, as I say, I've got a plan. Yeah, well, I think it's a good plan. It's a good plan in my head anyway. Hopefully it's a good plan when it comes to working underneath the bonnet. Kind of makes sense. Let me know what you think. Now, while they're doing that, what I'll do is I'll get them to weld up the bung here. But I'm just going to go back over to the table because there's another couple of issues which I want to have a look at to get this system working the way I want. A couple of the things that I've got to be mindful of when I make the alterations is maintaining the tube lengths. It's really important that each length of tube from the manifold where it connects to the head to the collector is the same length to help scavenge that extra exhaust gas out of the cylinder to allow more air fuel mixture in on the next cycle. I have made a decision. What I'm going to do is do my first startup, make sure everything's working, and then work on getting these fitted up after I've had a dyno run, because what I'd like to do is work out how much difference these headers make to the overall performance of my newly installed supercharger kit. That'll give me a good benchmark, and it'll give you some useful information as well in terms of how much of a difference these eBay headers will make on the E46. If you've got any questions, and particularly for you guys who've got a right-hand drive version of the E46 and you're trying to piece together what you're going to do with headers, shoot me a comment below, because I am looking at getting a drawing of these headers once they're completed, and once I've got some dyno figures that I could possibly get these made up and sell them online to you guys. So if you've got a right-hand drive E46 and you're potentially interested in having a set like this, then there is an opportunity for me to market these and to provide them to give you guys a good set of performance headers for your right-hand drive E46. So drop me a comment below, please, if that's the sort of thing that you might be interested in, and I'll start to get some numbers together to work out whether it's worth my while pursuing. As always, if you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash that like button, and if you'd like to see more videos about E46 maintenance and things like this, performance upgrades for your E46, and to follow the journey of my supercharged E46 325Ci, I'd strongly recommend you subscribe, but don't forget to tickle that bell so you get a notification each time I upload a new video. Of course, if you want to watch the next video about my E46 build, why don't you click and watch this video here. But YouTube will also recommend a video that you might like, and you can click and watch this video over here. Thank you very much for watching. I've really enjoyed your company and I've enjoyed sharing my new performance mod with you. But until we meet again, look after yourselves, stay safe, and TTFN.